message to the billionaire class: you can't have it all.
Yes. Another episode of the Revolution of Now. Yes.
Is that all you got to say, Jordan?
That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Just reiterating.
Are you trying to make fun of me here? Is this what it is?
Don't make me go off script, man. Jeez.
There's a script to this? This is part of the script, really?
I'm just kind of, yeah. I'm
Sad.
just kind of going over what you do. But
well, we can't all be masters of our own destiny,
that is true. You weren't like the greatest the first time you announced.
I'm not great either at it. What are you talking about? Don't prop me up like that. I definitely do not deserve that. I am terrible at this.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to be the one.
Because who's going to sit there and yes? I don't know. I have issues.
That's okay. So yeah,
the big league issues, the best issues.
So I'm going to introduce myself. Hey everyone. Yes, this is. I did it again. Yes, this.
It's very addictive, isn't it? Yes,
it is. It just kind of comes out. It's very natural. This is the Evolution of Now, and I'm your host, not co-host. I'm your host, Jordan, and I'm here with my co-host. This is so weird, man. It just switches everything around. Yeah. But I'm here with my co-host, the wonderful Christopher Robinson.
Well, I mean,
Chris.
I think I think the audience will agree with me on this when I need to be brought in with this in the background. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh God,
I'm here, and let's get this thing going. And Jordan Speed is here with me. Okay. I'm done. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay,
Damn. I don't know how to follow that. But yeah, so yes, we are here on Friday the 5th of December and
January.
Jesus Christ.
You're losing it, Jordan. January 5th, 2018.
See, now I get how you do it. No,
the very first episode of this year.
Right. Now,
and you're ruining it, Jordan. You're just ruining it.
I am. This is it. I always got 2019. But man. I always thought, man, how does Chris always keep flubbing up the date? And I get it.
You see? You give me so much crap for it, and then when you try and do it yourself, weird. It's strange how it works out that way.
It's almost as
people don't really get the struggle until they've lived it themselves, essentially, This is what we're learning today, Jordan.
Yeah, I suppose. See, yeah. I mean, I got overly too excited. I guess that's how it is for you too.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yes! Because you play in with that most epic of production music that I had a hand in tweaking and making it. I mean, obviously the music itself, I have no credit on that part of it. I just added some clips to it. That's about it. But that music is extremely epic, and then it just ramps you up, and you're just like, oh man, I'm so happy now, and you just mess everything up after that.
Yeah, you feel so invigorated to make change in the universe, and then it's like, oh, I have to talk now.
And then you fall flat on your face.
Exactly. So,
welcome to the big leagues, Jordan. Welcome to the big leagues.
So originally we planned to talk about socialized programs in the U.S., including including welfare programs as well. I mean, that's all wrapped up in there.
Yeah.
But this has not been an easy week for us, for many of us.
Yeah.
Out of the three,
yeah,
involved with the show, two of us.
Mike was a little low energy this week and had a few things to do with. He's got a medical condition and he had to do some traveling for that purpose this week, and so he was going to try and make the show this week, and he really wanted to, but he couldn't make it. Plus, for the fact we're recording at like 8:30 at night here in the East Coast of America, and he lives in the UK, so it's probably like what? I think he's like 4 or 5 hours ahead of us, so it's probably like 3 a.m. there. So, well, maybe not. Well, no,
yeah, I never
way
thought
off
of
on
it
the
that
math, like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
but, something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a struggle for him, But I myself was actually not sure if I was going to be able to have a show today, because this morning I woke up extremely sick and really feeling horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Here in New Jersey, we just had this like massive blizzard that just like strolled through yesterday, and it was pretty crazy. I wasn't able to get to work from that. Because of that, I work like 40 miles away from where I live right now. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going through 12 inches plus of snow to try and get there and back home and everything. So I stayed home. But someone got their truck stuck in front of our house here. So I went out there and helped out to try and get them unstuck, because I'm just a man of the people, Jordan. I tell you this all the time, And so I helped them out, and we got them unstuck. Although apparently they broke one of their brake lines in the process of all this. But
oh no, damn,
that sucks. Yeah, but at least they didn't go anywhere. They were just trying to go and park in this area here, like where we live. So they weren't going farther from that. But yeah, that happened yesterday, and I think because of that, I got sick. And it was really horrible this morning. Thankfully, right now, I'm not as bad. But, yeah, that's my current situation, I guess.
Yeah, living a struggle. So
always, Jordan, always.
When one form or another. So, yeah, so basically, because of that, we decided to kind of tone things down a bit. And, we'll actually reschedule that topic for next Friday. But until then, we actually really want to have a heart-to-heart with our audience. And
yeah, it's been a while since we've had one of those. I think we did one a while back, but that was like one time. I think that might have even been the precursor show to this one that we used to do. I think even that we did that actually. So
yeah. Wait, what's the moniker they give to Voldemort? What? Oh, one who shall not be named. Yeah, I think that's how we should adjust our previous.
Yeah, there were some issues there. I mean, like I've said in the past, like if he wanted to talk again, I would totally be open to talk to him again. I really liked him as a person, but there was a massive disagreement on one topic specifically, and I'm not going to denigrate his name here too much because
Right.
I did like him as a person, and I was actually the one person trying to keep our previous show together because it seemed like there was tension between Will and I at times, and then I guess you were also having issues with the way that things were, but I don't know. I was the voice of reason, trying to keep everyone, interested in going forward.
Yeah, see how well that turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was that disagreement, and it was a really fundamental disagreement, I would say. And so we parted ways. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a little summary.
Yeah.
But so for anyone who wasn't around for the first time we've done such a thing.
Probably like everyone in the audience except for maybe like Fred. He's been here since the beginning. He's awesome.
Hey Fred.
What's up, Fred?
Number one.
How have you been?
No.
How's Camden County Humanist going, man? I haven't been there in so long. It's terrible. I miss them.
I just got an invite, actually. So
oh, you did?
They're still going strong, yeah.
Nice. You should go at some point, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
They're cool people. They're nice. They're a small, like, slightly elderly crowd, but, like, they're really nice people for, you know, for old people, they're pretty nice. No, oh, God. No, I'm joking. no, they're That's humanists. Audience, they're cool people. Yeah. They were really nice.
Hey, look, age, it just means you have more insights. Yeah, I mean, it also means
thinking about it.
Well, but.
Yeah. Thinking about it, we might be able to have Fred on the program because I think he's actually the current head of that Camden County Humanist group. So,
nice.
One thing that we were going to talk about today is the future of the show, right? So, like, one thing that we wanted to do with the show that we literally didn't do any of last year with this show was reach out to progressive groups and like other activist type groups that we like and that we think are doing really good work and good service and get interviews with people from them and get their message out and try and help them out in that way and build support for their movements and everything. And we just haven't done any of that. But Fred, if you want to email me, man, like I would definitely like to set up an interview at some point where we can talk about Camden County Humanists, what you guys have been doing and where you guys are going.
Yeah, so absolutely. This is the Fred Show. We're going to name this the Fred Show.
I mean, he's like one of our only contributors monthly right now. We have two, him and this other guy, Dave, who's also trying to micromanage the program and trying to take it over for his big oil agenda. Well, I don't know if that's what it is, but but yeah, he's a cool guy too, really.
Right. But, Dave's a shareholder, man.
Yeah, he's one of those shareholder types, I guess. Yeah. But that's not going to influence our content. God damn it.
We are independent.
We are independent, Dave. You can't buy us. Even though you kind of did already.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
please keep on sending us that money, please.
I know.
That $3 a month.
Man, $3 would get you far.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, we're all allowed a New Year's resolution, and so is our show. And so yeah, that's one thing that we want to attempt to do this year, to spotlight progressive organizations. I mean, we've actually attempted that. I believe it was last year, early last year.
That was during the other show. Yeah.
That was during the other show, and it was with the Democratic Socialists of America. We want to
No. We did we interviewed one guy that was actually the head of Camden County Humanists at the time, Bill, okay. And he, I don't believe is running it anymore. I believe it's Fred is the main person that's in control of that group. It's a small group, but but yeah, I think he heads the group now. And we also interviewed damn it, why am I blanking on her name? But she is the head of the Delaware Valley Americans United group, and that was the better of the two interviews because like we butchered both of those ourselves because we were like, so what's this thing? And then like the next person would be like, yeah, but what's this thing? The same thing again. Yeah, it was just like we kept on asking the same questions over and over again, and it's just like it was appallingly bad what we did on that. So I mean, it was all our faults. But this time we'll do a lot better of a job. And what the hell? Why was it Janice Rail? If you also are listening and want to talk about Delaware Valley Americans United on this podcast again, well, definitely we would definitely like to do that again. So yeah. Yeah, and Fred knows her too, so he can potentially talk to her. Maybe I can talk to her on Facebook. I think she is on my Facebook group, or my friends on there. So,
nice. Yeah, we actually listened to each other this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one aspect of things, and I think it's only going to go up from here. So, the next thing to look forward to. Hopefully, actually, the thing is, is that sickness.
I muted myself so no one heard my cough. But now they know, Jordan. Thanks so much.
Podcast magic.
Thanks so much for bringing it up, Jordan.
I'm just going to describe everything that's going on. It's like, he's shuffling with some papers now. He's tapping on his keyboard. All the things that you mute, I'm just going to describe to our audience.
He's clearing his throat now.
Exactly. For the umpteenth time. So
I have throat problems. I don't know why it is. But that's okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll do an episode on health eventually. Next is, and one of the things I'm most excited about is investigative journalism.
What? Investigative journalism? What is this magic that you talk of?
Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. So essentially, we're going to take some stories that interest us, ones that aren't necessarily being are nationalized, and try to shed some light on what's going on. So there's actually, do you want to actually get into a one that we're currently working on? Do you want to kind of
the evolution of now is going to be doing investigative journalism?
God damn it, Chris. I thought we moved on. You still hung up on the fact that we're doing it. What can you believe it?
One story that that I personally found really, really interesting, and I'm sure you guys do too. This was my brainchild. This one.
Yeah, it was an alright story. I mean, I'm just trying to make you happy.
But no, there was an article I found on The Guardian a few months back, I think at this point even, about a little town in Sand Branch, Texas. The name of the town is Sand Branch. Mm-hmm. It's just outside of Dallas, Texas. I believe what the story was saying was like 20 minutes outside of Texas. And this town has not had running water. They haven't had water to their community in over 30 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Water, period. We've gotten so accustomed to, towns or communities like Flint saying they have, tainted drinking water. No. This community has no drinking water at all.
They don't have running drinking water at all. There was one guy in the article that bought water from his neighbor who had a well, but the water was described by the journalist as really dirty and scary looking, and the guy was putting his hand in there and drinking right out of it. And he's like, here, have some. He's offering some up to him. He was like, no thanks.
Right.
And I mean, it's crazy, but they don't have any drinking water at all. They've been subsisting on donated water for 30 plus years now. And that's insane in America, but if you think about all these things, it makes perfect sense, unfortunately. We always love to ignore the major blaring problems that we have and focus on everything else. And these towns like this get ignored completely. I don't know how this didn't get brought up over 30 years ago. How is it that a town in America could, not have drinking water for that long, and no one says a thing until the Guardian or whoever went in there and interviewed people actually broke a story on it.
Right. Well, you see, this is a town under, it's around 500 people, maybe even less than that. I mean, there's no political wins for a politician who appeals to or goes out of their way to try to right this wrong. So,
and I mean, in the article itself too, it says that it's an unincorporated town, did you had a definition of that though, right? It was sort of like a town that doesn't have a government like corporation of I don't know how you explained it exactly.
Yeah, it's not governed by a local municipal corporation, is what it said, and
that's usually what you would consider local government.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't have. I guess they don't seem to have any local government. So why would anyone care to like fight for what they want? This is the problem with some areas like that. They're going to get forgotten and just like pushed off to the side and marginalized. Like, right. I'm not sure if like it's Dallas that is the parent of this place, but there's always I think you were describing in it earlier that there's like a bigger town or city that usually covers that area in some way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep, it's either a township or a borough, or county, city, state, even.
Yeah.
So it's interesting too. This eerily reminded me of how the government of Michigan decided to take power out of the hands of the Flint community and give it back to themselves. So, and the whole idea of a emergency manager, which essentially emergency managers they have in place for situations that the government believes that local governments can't handle themselves. Yeah. And so like the local community of Flint have been fighting in order to be able to kind of have sovereignty on this issue of their drinking water. But unfortunately, this emergency manager has been kind of, slowing the process down. They haven't been getting things done as fast as they would have hoped because of that process. So, but yeah, so this story, we'll essentially keep going about this story we're going to be covering.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really most of it right now, what I'm going to really talk about on that story, because I don't want to go too in depth on that story just alone, because broadly we're talking about that this is something that we want to try and do more of in the show, and do any of, really, because we haven't done any of it before. So we're going to try and start doing a little bit more digging onto certain subjects and topics like that, if we can. I also had a thought and an idea of like, if we could find something in like the crazy right wing arena, some kind of story that we can find a local town or something like that like is attached to the story, and like get in touch with people there to like sort of like in some ways weed out fake news by getting actual perspectives from people on the ground in the areas where this supposed thing is happening, like, where like maybe Breitbart or InfoWars or something says like, oh, there's this town in Alabama that's run by the Muslims and they're imposing Sharia law or something like that. We can actually potentially call that town and find out, no, that's not actually happening, and actually interview people on that specifically, and sort of like in this way weed out fake news, and in some ways also corroborating real journalism that actually is happening, like from The Guardian with the Sand Branch story, and to show, yes, this actually is happening to this city or this town, Sand Branch in Texas. And like, I even gave an example of like Cosmos Pizza, when that thing was happening, we could have maybe even done some calling and interviewing the people that worked at Cosmos Pizza or people that frequent there or something like that, and maybe gotten some on the ground information or an interview with someone that could like alleviate the bullshit that like there's somehow some child sex ring being run out of the basement of the place.
Right.
It's ridiculous, that kind of shit.
Totally.
And yeah, more journalists need to start doing it. And I mean, there are a lot of good ones out there still. I think like. The Atlantic does some pretty good stuff sometimes. Intercept does some pretty good stuff sometimes. Washington, is it Washington Post that does some pretty decent reporting at times?
Oh yeah, certainly. They break a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is decent journalism out there. There's a lot of people that just don't think that journalists are credible anymore. And, I mean, the way I see it is like we don't trust the news media right now because they are so corporately and nakedly driven, and they're driven by profit, and they can never ever talk bad about corporations in general or some kind of a sponsor for their program or something. They can never do it because they are beholden to that corporate money and that corporate power. And so, in that way, they do muddy the water for actual journalists that are actually doing good work out there and everything. So
exactly, yeah, totally. And I do think news publications have a lot more, I guess, they're a lot more respected, and rightfully so. I mean, I think when we talk about this idea of the these major corporations kind of controlling the narrative, we think about like the news networks specifically.
Yeah,
and of course, yeah. And I mean, of course, you some people would throw the Washington Post in there or the New York Times in there, but they also they do contribute and break a lot of very meaningful stories.
But this is why, like, we can become almost another check in the line, and this is why I want to start doing this. Is like we can corroborate what's real, and we can also like try and help dissuade people from what's fake as well. We can help in some way at least. And that, to me, seems really important, and I think that's something that I want to start doing with the show more often.
Yeah.
There's also science that we haven't really done as much on recently, but we can start delving more into that. I think in a few weeks, maybe like next week, like you said, we're going to be talking about social reform. I think the next week after that might actually be space travel. I think that might have been what Mike wanted the topic to be, actually, for next week, the week after. So it could be interesting. That could be some interesting stuff there.
It could be. Man, I mean, especially since I think everything, science is political too. Like, there's also a political angle to science. So
it can be politicized.
Certainly. I mean, recently, it's NASA had their sights on Mars, and Trump decided to, and Pence decided to change their agenda to the moon again. So
we gotta beat those moon men on their own territory, or else they're gonna come here and take all of our jobs. It'll happen. You'll see. Big league.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So I mean, there's a little bit of politics and everything. So
yeah, that'd
be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why we hadn't thought of that topic yet. That's such a great topic. Space and space travel, and he also mentioned Mars and a few other things as well. So look forward to that, and look forward to social programs next week. And not sure of the next week after that yet. We'll work on it, but yeah,
absolutely. Another thing that I want to bring up is how we approach the show. So next week, next Friday, will essentially be my topic, which, like we said, is social programs. And so, because it is my topic, I'm going to kind of have fun the way our show is structured and do something that that would be a little bit slightly different than how we're accustomed to doing things for the show. And also when Michael hosts his topic, I think that's a good way of describing what's going on, hosting the topic. I like that. But when Michael goes on to host his topic, he may have his own spin on how he would like to present things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's probably going to be differences on how we have the show running per week, but maybe not. I don't know. We have a I don't know if like we even really have like a way that we do things specifically right now, because let's be honest, I don't prepare a huge amount for this show. I kind of like I read stuff. Well, hey man, I'm being honest. I am my biggest flaw is how honest I am about like myself, especially,
Yeah.
So that's what gets me in trouble more than anything is how honest I am. I'm just too honest. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't prepare extreme amounts. I read a bunch of articles and I'll post them for everyone else to read and check out. But I don't have like any script or anything like that. I'm not scripting anything. I'm sort of just like going off the top of my head, if you can't tell, which is probably pretty obvious. Because I'm like, we got this story over here. It's it's this thing, yeah. So I mean,
wait, let me find it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if that works for you guys, then that's one thing. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's more real in this way in some ways. But like, I don't know. It could be a good idea for us to actually start preparing a little bit more. Because we do get sidetracked and we go on tangents and we go like all over the place sometimes, and and it's probably a lot my fault because I don't structure anything, So maybe if we have a little bit of structure here and there on some episodes, there might be a stark difference, and if that works better, then we might do that more often. We'll see.
Right. And I guess a lot of it would be dependent on what the topic calls for too. So like what the topic I'm going to have on Friday, I'm going to need some statistics to kind of to back up kind of what we're saying.
Who needs them?
Right? Who needs them? But
seriously,
because there's a lot of misinformation and when it comes to federalized programs, federalized social programs, and the misinformation tends to gear more towards conspiracy theories about their inadequacy. So based on my own experience and based on what I read and what people who are beneficiaries of these systems, that is not necessarily the case. So I definitely want to illuminate that, and I can't just do it from my brain can only hold so much, like the great what's that guy's name?
Einstein?
Oh, no. The brain surgeon. The brain surgeon.
Donald Trump? Oh, Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. The brain. He said something about the brain can only hold. It was so interesting. It was so stupid, but
his whole thing was like the brain can. It's so amazing. Hold on, I actually have that clip somewhere. Hold on.
I could take the oldest person here, make a little hole right here on the side of the head, and put some depth electrodes into their hippocampus and stimulate, and they would be able to recite back to you verbatim a book they read 60 years ago. It's all there. Doesn't go away. Yeah,
that was him. He's saying that you know everything, and like it's all in your brain, and all that, and you just take some electrodes and they can recite a book verbatim. I'm not so sure about that, but Who knows?
I think we tried that. It was called wasn't it called electric therapy?
Yeah, electroshock therapy. That's a great idea.
Exactly.
Electrocute people. It's a great idea. It works.
Right.
But yeah, he's an interesting character, that Ben Carson. But I think I also have another clip of him, which is pretty amazing.
Okay.
It's the pyramids. Oh, the pyramids. Here it is. This guy was great. Just listen to how insane this guy is.
My own personal theory is that Joseph built the pyramids in order to store grain. Now, all the archaeologists think that they were made for the pharaoh's graves, but, it would have to be something awfully big when you stop and think about it. And I don't think it would just disappear over the course of time to store that much grain. And when you look at the way the pyramids are made, with many chambers that are hermetically sealed, they would have to be that way for a reason. And, various scientists have said, well, there were alien beings that came down and they had special knowledge, and that's how they were able to... it doesn't require an alien being when God is with you.
Oh, man.
Alien beings. Yeah. Anyway, so...
Wait, he confused the food pyramid with the actual pyramid.
Maybe. That might be what it is. He was probably high one day, because you can't tell me that guy wasn't high. I mean, come on. But he was probably looking at a food pyramid, and it's like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. The pyramids were storing food. That's totally what it was. Because, they were hermetically sealed. What else would you hermetically seal a chamber for, other than to preserve things? Which is what they did with the bodies and the body parts and everything of the pharaoh. That was the whole reason for them being hermetically sealed, was to preserve the remains of the pharaoh. But anyway,
I digress. Yeah,
and let's just think about that for a second, though. These gigantic pyramids just used to store grain. They have these teeny tiny little chambers compared to the massive volume of these pyramids. And yet they have these tiny little chambers. Who is the moron that would build such a massive building just to store grain in?
Right.
Because it's not like you're just storing it in that thing forever and it's just sitting there forever. You know, for a rainy day, I guess, or something. When those older cultures would harvest grain, they would have a centralized place to store it all, but they would be constantly using it. And they wouldn't have to have secret chambers and all kinds of different ways of locking down the rooms with gigantic stones and stuff. It just doesn't make any sense to have it that way. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. But it's Ben Carson.
Can you imagine? The pyramids are just giant pantries.
It's hey guys, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to go to the pyramid. What do you guys want?
Right. All that blood, sweat, and tears just to build something that just stores grain.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And it was built by Joseph himself, probably. Just literally by Joseph. God came down and gave him massive special powers, and Joseph just walked over hey guys, I'm just going to build a pyramid right now for grain. Just stacked it up real easy by himself. Because, that happened.
Most people just had sacks, but they went, no. Bigger.
Maybe. But anyway, our famous tangents. Anyway, what were we talking about? The show, future, and everything? We got off on Ben Carson.
I remember exactly where I left off. And it was just that, despite what Ben Carson says, my brain only has the capacity to hold so much information. So that's why I do think that, having those statistics on hand and kind of guiding us through in a in a certain way, that's not being too stringent.
You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
So that's all it is. It's alternative facts, man. Like Ben Carson has alternative facts. We have our facts,
I'm done with that guy.
All right,
let him live, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Let him live.
I just having fun with the soundboard like I never do on the show. I'm always terrible.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's something that the audience can look forward to.
I really should try and use this thing more. It's so great. There's so many things in here, like
the era of the pajama boy is over, and the alpha males are back. Boy is back, and the alpha males are back.
There's that. Oh man, so good.
Oh man,
DJ Danarchy. He's a legend. That's who made that song that part's from. But Danarchy's the man. I'm just gonna have to say.
Hey. So we have some ambitious goals for 2018.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
they're all right.
Yeah, I think so, and I mean it's a lot to look forward to, and guys, of course, we never shy away from listener feedback. So you can also present what you think we should implement or try out for our show. That's always fun.
Yeah, you can always message us on our email we have at this point, the evolution of now @gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook as well. We have a Facebook page there. You can send us messages on there. I am connected to it, although I'm never on Facebook, so someone could have notified us 3 weeks ago and I wouldn't have known because I'm never on there. I'm terrible. But there's also we have a Discord open now too. So if you guys want to talk to us, we're on there. We don't have Jordan in there yet because he's being low energy. And,
wait a second.
He's never actually in Discord. So
get out of here.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to invite you to the other one because we do have a super special secret one that
wow.
Yeah.
You guys been keeping this away from me?
A little bit. We kind of didn't want you to come in there. But, no. We don't have anyone in there but me and Michael. Me and Michael are the only ones in our Evolution of Now fan page Discord channel so far. But yeah. But
yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. He's not a fan, so he's not going to be there. That's why I didn't give you an invite, so screw you. How about that? Deal with that.
I didn't want to invite anyway.
I didn't want to come to your birthday anyway. I'm taking my toys home. But sounds a little bit like our president, actually, if you think about it.
My button's bigger.
Yeah, my nuclear button is so big, it puts the North Korea's nuclear button to shame because it's so big, shiny, red, and yeah, I could press it at any time, and it's so strong, so powerful.
Oh, God.
That's our president these days, guys.
We're bragging about our nuclear arsenal. Oh.
About the button.
No, yeah, just the
Not
button.
even the arsenal, the button. Donald Trump is going to either break us as human beings or he is going to lead to such a massive revolution, hopefully, that it's crazy. I that's the only two I'm hoping for, or not, maybe not hoping for both of those, but the one I'm hoping for, and the other one maybe not so much.
Yeah,
but,
anything beats nuclear annihilation.
Yeah. There's that too. That's an option too. We're on the table right now. And, which is interesting. North Korea at this point, finally, after years of not negotiating with the South, they're actually coming to the table with the South because they're like, hey, the United States is fucking crazy right now with Donald Trump. He's a moron. He is actually going to catapult us into nuclear war where we kill each other. maybe we should actually talk about this. That's like we've talked about this before. Like it's so sad when Kim Jong-un from North Korea, the horrendous dictator that he is the rational actor in the room. It's so sad. So sad.
On countless occasions, North Korea have said, "Look, we're not being, I guess, inconsiderate here. We want you guys to stop bullying us, and when we'll put away like these, we want you guys to stop threatening us, and then we'll be able to negotiate."
Well, I mean, they sort of say that with a lot of bravado, just like Trump too. A lot of the times, like, well, if America doesn't stop threatening us, we're going to unleash fury on them, this is why Donald Trump had his amazing fire and fury talk. Fucking
true.
He is.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of it is posturing.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of them have been spoiled little bratty children in this whole game, but it's really sad when Kim Jong-un is being the bigger man in some way, at least.
Well, according to Trump,
he's
Kim
the big
Jong-un,
league man.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un's a small, sad, overweight man, and Trump is a big man.
He's a baby.
In many ways.
Rocket Man. Rocket Man. Because that's really, this is Donald Trump's motif. He has to somehow, like, give them some kind of, like, stupid fucking, like, nickname. Like, we were even talking about this earlier, how he had, like, Crooked Hillary and Lying Ted and Crazy Bernie. And what was his new one? About, like, about Steve? Sloppy Steve Bannon. Like, really? Like, that's what you come up with this whole thing. Sloppy Steve Bannon. Like, this is his motif. He talks and acts like he's still in, like, elementary school. Mm-hmm. It's so pathetic. Like, we're gonna have to have another episode at some point on this orange fucktard, and it's gonna be depressing. I fucking hate the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think we went too much enough into detail on that Donald Trump history episode that we had, but there was one podcast that I actually did love that had a really good 2-part on this called The Dollop. I would definitely suggest everyone check out The Dollop. It's a hilarious podcast, and we have no affiliation to them at all, so I'm not getting any kickback from them or anything, unfortunately. No, if they want to give me some money,
is Chris selling out? Oh, whoa, wait a second. Right. No, put that back in the bottom. But,
it's not going to happen. But they're doing pretty good stuff, and they had a 2-part of, like, the history of Donald Trump and his father, and it's eye-opening, jaw-dropping, amazing, big league, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's insane. The kind of shit that he has done and his father has done in their lifetimes.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah, you can listen to our competitor. And,
well, I'm saying they have a really good episode on Donald Trump, and we're still working on these things. We didn't go enough into detail on this guy's history, on our podcast. So if you guys want to get a better picture of the guy, while also laughing your head off, like that's the podcast to go with on that topic, at least.
You are honest to a fault.
I am. Jesus. See, this is my problem, man. I ruin my own fucking, like, everything with how honest I am. This is the whole problem with me, like, even dating sometimes. Like, I'm a single guy at this point, unfortunately. But
Bachelor.
I mean, the few times that I've tried to go out and date, I sometimes have been too honest to a fault, I guess, at times, and people are like, "Wow, you have some issues, don't you?" Like, what? I don't know how I projected that, but I mean, I guess that's possible, It's like, because I don't want to say, no, I totally don't. Totally not. I definitely don't have those. No, not me. No. It's like, yeah, you totally do. I don't know. I want to, like, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I might. Most people probably do, is my my biggest take from it, though. Like, we all have issues that we're dealing with in our lives. You know, that's the one main thing that, like, if there's anything sure in life, it's death and taxes, obviously, and having problems. You know, like,
Right.
we all have our own issues in life, you know, and that exhibits itself in different ways. So, I mean, I'm no different from anyone else. I am a man of the people with my own, you know, issues, just like everyone else. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, that is fair.
See, I always try and be I'm the most fair, you know, just like how Trump is the most modest person you'll ever meet, ever. You know, basically is what he said one time. He's the best at humble, I think is what he actually said in an interview. How can you be the best at humble? You know, the guy is such a clown. It's amazing.
He talks about it like it's a game.
Yeah. I'm the best
Like,
at greatest big league.
I
You
made
know,
regionals last year. I am the best at being humble. I tell
Pretty
you.
much. But yeah, I guess with that, guys, I mean, we should wrap this thing up. We've been going crazy for a little while here on this, but you know, it's our way. You know, if you've been listening to the show, we're a little, you know, a little loose with this, and I guess with your episode, maybe we're going to be a little less loose. I don't know. Maybe that's the
Man,
We'll see.
look, it's so interesting too because you'll really start to get a sense of who we are. Because
yeah.
I have a feeling I'm not gonna be like a tight ass, but I'm gonna be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, Jordan is going to like threaten to kill me if I like ruin his debut show or something. Probably he's gonna be like,
I'm a
I
communist.
can't fucking believe
so-
you bastard. He's never going to talk to me ever again. He's going to leave the show probably if I ruin his show somehow. But,
Exactly. I'll probably like if you speak out of term, I'll just jail you, and
oh, no.
and public humiliate your family.
It's like, no, mute yourself right now.
I'm a dictator.
Oh man, sad.
That you will find out. No, but but yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be interesting experiences. This is still a learning experience for us guys. I don't know if you've known this at this point or picked this up. We're still like somewhat mediocre at this, you know. I mean, we've only been doing this for a year. I mean, let's be honest. So we're doing
Honest
pretty
to a
good for a
fault.
year. We're doing pretty good for a year. You know what I mean? Like I said, yeah, honest to a fault. But we're doing pretty good for a year, and we're going to be expanding the show, like we said, and we're going to be doing better in this year, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I'm going to practice my intro in the mirror countless times before.
I mean,
before Friday.
we used to sort of start every show with "Welcome to the Evolution of Now" and like go from there, but like I kind of got away from it. I don't know why.
It's too dry.
Yeah, a little bit.
Too dry.
Maybe that was what it was. I needed some spice in my life, Jordan.
Humdrum.
I needed some
There you go.
spice. You know,
You
it's like Dune. I needed the spice. You know. But anyway, guys, with that, like we've been ranting on it even more after we were trying to end this thing anyway already, like 20 minutes ago.
My bad.
No, it's both for bad.
See what had
Let's be
happened.
honest. What had happened was these things happened. But yeah, you can also potentially help the show out, guys. If you, like we said, if you want to get in touch with us and send us some feedback, maybe send us a suggestion of a progressive group or just some group in general that you think is doing really amazing work and you would like us to interview them, definitely, please send us an email, a message on Facebook, get onto the Discord. It will be linked in the description of this, and it should be an indefinite link that you can click anytime. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but get in touch with us, guys. We want to hear from you. We want to hear some of the groups, like your local groups even. If you have a local group that you want us to interview to get their message out, do it. Guys, get in touch with us. We will definitely interview them. And you can also contribute to our Patreon if you want, like to help us build the show even more, you know, at patreon.com/theevolutionofnow. And we really, really hope to hear from you guys. Honestly, we want to hear from you guys. We want your feedback. And really talk to us on the Discord. We really want to interact with you guys and have more of a broader discussion with you guys, you know? Not just this podcast. We can talk more outside of the podcast, too. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. We can talk about life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I'm just a miserable, depressed, sad human being and everything, you know? And, like, all that. You can get gruesome detail on that if you want, you know? I mean, if that's your thing.
Honest to a fault.
Yeah. But anyway. But, yeah, with that, guys. Jordan, last words? Do you want to actually take us out since this is sort of your episode too?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just stay
in school.
Stay in school. Stay frosty. No, just I guess.
Don't be a fool. Stay in school.
Exactly. Crack is whack. What else is there? No, but yeah. But no, but seriously, just really prioritize one thing you do in 2018. That's goes for everyone, and I think we can all do it. I think we all fall short, but please prioritize your mental health. Yeah. This country's freaking crazy. This world is crazy. Our lives are crazy.
The president's an asshole. You know, the government is being run by fucking literal morons. And yeah, it's a rough time. This is the roughest time ever, probably in our lifetimes, to be an American citizen and maybe even like a world citizen with the prospect of nuclear war being actually potentially real. You know, so I mean, because we have an imbecile in the White House. So it is not, you're not alone, guys. We are all worrying and suffering from all of this, and we all have our own issues and problems in life. We're here for you. Like, that's another thing. Get on the Discord. Talk to us. If you are having some kind of issues, you know, we will talk to you about it. You know, we are not going to be assholes here and be like, yeah, fuck you. Like, right. I don't care about your issues. I definitely care. I care about everyone. Like I always mention to Jordan, I'm a man of the people. I want to hear from the people. And, you know, I think it's very important to hear from the people in that as well.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I just stepped all over your outro, you know, but, you know.
I was done, but you went overtime, so that was yours. You're done. Yeah.
I'm cut off. I'm just going to mute myself from now on.
Exactly. Yeah, so, everyone, I hope you accomplish everything you set out for yourself for 2018. I was just about to end it. I was like just about to say my last word. Okay. I was on my last word, man.
I was being quiet.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Fair. But anyway, yeah, how do you sign this thing off? Good night, everybody.